Beast mode here, coming at you. We got a 10-minute rapid game. Of course, we start E4, plays G6, so I take the center, and he's going with a modern defense, so I choose a 3-pawn attack. And then we just have some normal developing moves. It brings the bishop out, so do I. Then I castle, trades off the light square bishop, and I play for the dark square supremacy here. And he shuts the door with D5, so I bring my knight out. And I'm thinking potentially go b5 with the knight here, potentially going to c7 with the fork. Um, he goes c5, and I still should play b5 here, still threatening that fork, but I opt not to. So I play the bishop here, defending my center, and then he plays a6. So I bring my knight back to c2, and the computer really likes here pushing c4. I couldn't really tell you why. I don't really see it. But anyways, he brings his knight out to the edge of the board. So I bring my rook, preparing for the opening of the c file here. He jumps his knight into the middle to f5. So I bring my bishop back so it's not getting attacked by the knight. He castles, and then I play g4, kicking that knight out. And he can have fun on the edge of the board the rest of the game. Bring my queen over to e1, trying to go over to h4 and get on the outside of these pawns, the dark square pawns, get that bishop more active. Then he plays a move f6, which is a mistake. So the proper move here is to take. I'll just show you real quick. Take, and then say he takes back with a rook, and I go with the fork, and I win one of his pieces. Unfortunately, I missed that in game. I played bishop to h4. And my thought process was, just pin that pawn to the queen. He plays the best move, which is g5 here. So now I take on the f6 square. And then the bishop takes back. So I take back with the bishop. I figure trade off the dark square bishop. I got all these pawns in dark squares. And we get this exchange right here. And then with that queen taking that pawn, I now have queen takes e6 with check. He blocks with a rook. And then the computer says take this pawn right away, but I didn't like the idea of him maybe taking with the knight and then having discovered attack. So I defend it with that pawn, and he moves his king here. So now I take this pawn, and he brings his knight out to block the f file. So I give a check right here, and then I win the rook. And then I go for a queen trade, try to simplify while I'm up material. And he's not having it, so I give a check here. Got a lot of pressure going on this f file right in front of the king. So I take the knight, simplify, the queens are off the board. And now we go to this endgame. And here, I'm just trying to simplify. So I give a check here, straight off the rooks. Now it's a rook and knight versus knight. And I'm running low on time, so I'm trying to go as fast as I can, grabbing some pawns here and there. And gives me that pawn. And now I'm just going to push up the h file. And go check here. And now the best move, go here, fork it, the knight and the king. But I have 20 seconds, so I miss that. So I take the free pawn here. And then he moves to the king, and I find the tactic anyway. And he probably should have played it on, because I got 17 seconds left. Probably could have tried to cheese me on time, but he decides to resign anyway.